Hi everyone, it's Nicola Grace, the Mission Mentor here. I'm the founder of the Mission Mastery Academy and creator of the global social entrepreneur training Right Mission, Right Money. And welcome to Monetize Your Mission, Leave a Legacy. We're going to be going into a deep dive of my purpose to profit formula that helps you clarify and monetize your mission to make a big difference and more money as you build your legacy. Now, quickly before we start, be sure to close down all your apps, particularly Skype, email, Facebook, because they suck up bandwidth and that can interfere with the stream, or your screen goes blurry so you don't get such a good picture. Now, I'm known for getting to the point, so let's get right to it. And let me ask you this. Would you like to be making a bigger impact and more money doing something that you're passionate about? Feeling that deep sense of satisfaction that comes from making that meaningful contribution in the world? Because I'm going to be showing you that it's not only possible, it's necessary because of an important trend in the marketplace you'll learn about today. And if you're already in business, how would you like to 10 times your results just by getting a greater connection and alignment to nitty-gritty details hidden in your higher purpose? And if you're a business startup, those same nitty-gritty details will help you get your business into positive cash flow relatively quickly. Now, I hope you said yes, because I'm going to show you finer distinctions about your purpose and mission today that can literally turn your business around in as little as 3 weeks, launch you globally, and have you making that impact. We're talking about monetizing your mission and purpose in a global climate of mass change. Because of that massive change, this masterclass is probably the single most important one to watch all the way through. So you are in the right place today if you're frustrated because you're sort of kind of on purpose but not making that big impact and you want to be making. Or you're looking to go into business based on your purpose but you have no idea what that is, or you've got too many ideas and you're lacking direction. Or you're on purpose in business, heading in the right direction, investing in coaching and courses to grow your business, but something's missing and you still lack that clarity on what's going to give you the big breakthrough. Or you've built a purpose-aligned business and you feel something new needs to be birthed, but you're lacking clarity on how to transition. Because today we're going to be giving you some clarity and specifically how to tap into the manifestation power of your purpose and mission so that you can make that big impact and more money, showing up in the world as your authentic self, following your true path, and leveraged so money's coming in whether you work, sleep, or play. How does that sound? Is that a good exchange of your time? I hope you said yes, because here's what we're going to cover. We'll look at the 3 mistakes the entrepreneurs make when trying to get clarity on their big purpose and what you need to know so you don't make those mistakes. How do you determine the best niche for you that's going to align with your purpose and leads to prosperity? What is the one thing within your life purpose that gives you clarity on your precise message that you're here to deliver? What are the 7 aspects of your purpose that tap you into unique mission mojo and your greatest power to affect change in the world? We're going to look at the major market trends that you need to prepare for as a matter of top priority, so you'll profit from them rather than plummet in a purpose-driven business. You'll also learn what the number one thing you need to focus on in getting clarity with your offers and your monetization model, so you're passionate about what you do, you're aligned to your purpose, and you're making the biggest impact. What are the 3 critical components of building a profitable purpose-aligned business that spreads your message and grows your income so the cash flow likes the waterfall? And I'm going to take you through a process to find out if you've actually got the right mindset to make a lot of money in a mission-driven business or not. And if not, what do you need to do to shift that? So I'm going to be sharing with you my purpose to profit formula right out of my global social entrepreneur training, Right Mission, Right Money. It's been turning people's businesses around within a short time frame, doubling, even quadrupling their sales in under 6 weeks. It's allowing people to transition from jobs to a profitable business by doing something they love. It's also catapulting people into the global stage where they're making a really big impact. And for those of you who are looking and needing a business mentor, at the end I'll give you an opportunity to work with me more closely if you resonate with me and what I'm saying today. Before I tell you a little bit more about me and why I'm the person to listen to on this subject, I want to really help you get to grips with this change that is happening this year and will continue to do so for the next 10 years, because it's going to determine whether or not you're set up to make sales and get clients. So zone in and take some notes. We'll look at these major market trends that you need to prepare for as a matter of top priority. And why I say monetizing your mission and purpose in a new way is the single most important thing you need to do in the next few months, even weeks. Well, firstly, I want to give you a few distinctions about your life purpose because it's such a general term. So your life purpose, if you think of it, is the reason for you being here and the being states you're here to achieve and express yourself through, as well as the being states you're here to help others achieve. While the life's mission is what you're here to do, and that's the doing part of your purpose. So given that your mission and purpose are where you get to be and do and experience the greatest satisfaction and the passion and fulfillment in life, as well as reach your highest potential, then you don't want to go to the grave having lived a life full of regret, never fulfilling that potential. And I've had cancer twice, and I can tell you that regret has pain and it sears through the body when you realize you haven't done what you came here to do yet. It is absolutely unbearable, and you don't want that experience. You want to get onto it now so you can avoid that pain and regret. But perhaps more critically, these market trends make it imperative for you to connect with your purpose and mission within your business. And the first is a market trend that's been creeping up on us, but it's now at tipping point, and that is this trend of purpose changing the world. Futurist and founder of Entrepreneurs Institute talks about how 12 purpose-driven waves are fast disrupting 12 industrial model corporations. So it's purposeful business that is driving the new economy and where the money is. And you don't want to be monetized in the 12 industries that are fast being replaced or servicing them for much longer. And speaking of tipping point, the second market trend is that tipping point has now been reached with purpose, and the need to contribute to the greater good is a really important part in consumers' minds when they go to buy something. So the Alderman Trust Barometer in 2016, it's a global consumers report, reported they found 50% of the adult consumer population want to feel good about their purpose as if it has a purpose and that they're contributing to the greater good. So that means you now need to provide social capital or a greater good experience for your prospective clients and customers rather than just the exchange of money for products and services. And the best way to do that is by integrating your life's mission and purpose into your business mission, as you'll learn today. Now, these next trends are a somewhat belated wake-up call because it's happening now. And this is why you need to act now, not later. Because as big employers like corporations and public service continue to downsize, shrinking the job pool as drones, robots, and AI start replacing a lot of jobs and businesses, particularly those traditionally held by men, and countries like India continue to pour 1 million new workers into the global economy each month for the next few decades, the job market, which is now global, folks, and the business startup market are going to be even more crowded than it already is. And at the same time, experts around the world are saying we're going to lose 50% of our current job roles and business roles over the next 8 years because of this robotic automation revolution. Now that's going to have an enormous trickle-down effect for everybody. And the bottom line of all these trends is that finding your purpose and monetizing it within a business context is no longer a luxury pastime for hippie baby boomers going into business. It's a survival necessity for all of us because that's where the trends are driving us. And this is not to get you all doomy and gloomy, by the way, too, but to sound the alarm that if you have been dragging your feet on making change, now's the time and you better start running to get that foundation of your business based on your social good and your purpose, because you've got some catching up to do, and that's what consumers are looking for when they decide whether or not to buy from you. Now, because of this radical shift in values in the market, a radical new approach to building your business model is needed. But here's where I see people get stuck and make mistakes in their pursuit of clarity of purpose or clarity of direction all the time. By far, the biggest sticking point is that you don't know what to look for or where to look to get the clarity. That's because of a lot of noise out there about what purpose is, and it's been really narrowed down to a specific job, business idea, or a statement, and purpose is none of that. Purpose is a really broad topic. I'm going to go into this a bit more as we go through. It's got a lot of moving parts, and this is why you could have done some purpose work before but still get confused and lack direction and even feel a bit lost. Now, if that's you, don't make the mistake of thinking time will reveal it to you, because unfortunately it doesn't. It's not time that solves the problem, it's knowing what to look for, getting the right information, and then the right processes to help you do the soul searching and self-discovery work to get those nitty-gritty details that you need. And you just can't escape doing that soul-searching work or using a process to help you get those details. I'm going to be giving you those nitty-gritty details that you need to know, the information you need to look for about your purpose today, and then how to get started on having them be revealed to you. The next sticking point I see people make a lot is they look for the free information, hoping that's going to fill in the gaps for them, not actually willing to invest in their education or business. So that means you're either getting the wrong information, or you're getting conflicting information, or not enough of the right information. That's going to lead you to the breakthrough. So it's great to do all the free stuff for sure, but you're going to be overwhelmed trying to implement everything you're learning for free because you have no strategic development or focus. And more often than not, this can lead to underwhelming results. And I want to show you this sobering statistic. Now, really get your head around this. 90% of businesses today fail to reach profit, and the owners end up in debt. That could even be you right now. Now, that's the overwhelming majority. Failure rate stats are particularly high for women, unfortunately. Now, business fail rates have been increasing and success decreasing since the 50s. So we've had a business 1.0 model that's failed to help the majority of business owners, haven't we? Despite that we've had decades of personal development, law of attraction, and all those business seminars, you'd actually think that the success rate would be increasing, but it's not. It's going down. Now, planning and experience are cited as the main reasons why businesses fail, and that's a good reason why you need to hire someone else's strategic skills and experience to bridge the gap for you till you have that experience. Now, that's what the 10% of business owners who are succeeding are doing. They hire others to bridge that knowledge and the experience gap. And I also think that in the 50s, it was understood you needed to invest money and time to succeed. And with the information age and all the free bits and pieces of information you can get online, it's led to this idea, mistakenly, that you can actually build a business in today's world on your own without help or without investing money. And it's just simply not true. Look at that, 90%. 90% failure rate. That's huge. And this was me in 2007. I thought like that. I had just implemented a strategy that saved $1 billion industry in New Zealand natural health industry from ruin, and that strategy achieved in 6 months what the industry failed to do in 7 years, and I did that while I was facing the news I had final stage melanoma cancer. But when I turned back to my own $250,000 highly profitable organic day spa, it quickly plunged into bankruptcy after taking the wrong business partner on. So even though I made history and I won an award for saving that $1 billion industry, I go, how did that happen? So I knew I desperately needed some business education to make sure it never happened again. And I was struggling to pay my bills at the time, and so I started to go to all the free seminars, online courses, free stuff I could get my hands on, thinking it was going to get me clear on my direction and building a new profitable business. And I ended up accumulating lots of information and bits of the various puzzle, but never getting the whole piece. I chased my tail for 3 years, thinking I was progressing because I was really busy implementing all the free stuff I learned without any clear strategy. But really, I was just getting nowhere and wondering, well, how come I'm not reaching the bigger numbers and the impact and the income? Then I sat in a room with Raymond Aaron of Chicken Soup for the Soul fame, and I heard him say how he's investing in coaches and mentors every step of the way because that's what successful, wealthy people do. They don't build their businesses alone. That's what working class people do. And the penny dropped. And I thought, okay, so if successful, wealthy people are getting there because they're hiring the knowledge and expertise of others, then that's what I need to do to succeed. But I didn't take him up on the offer, and I struggled that year. So a year later, I heard another speaker say the exact same thing as him. And I thought, right, it's time for me to get really serious about building my business and invest in myself, get some business coaching to help me get further faster. And I didn't want to waste any more of my time floundering on my own, so I purchased her program. It was $5,000, which I have to be honest with you, it was a hustle. I had to sell stuff, borrow, do all sorts of things to get that money so that I can make that investment. But within 10 months following the blueprint, I had made $100K. Now that's not a bad return on your investment, right? That's better than investing in silver or gold. Since then, I've gone on to double six figures, hiring coaches and consultants to get me there every single step of the way. I have no idea where I would be if I hadn't done that. But here's an important key, and I want you to write this down, particularly if you're struggling to break through your next financial glass ceiling right now. What I learned from that is that to get the money to invest in myself and my purpose is how I actually expanded my financial paradigm. And so what happened is I started to make money because I hustled. And that happens because money's just like us. It needs a purpose. You've got to have a purpose for it. So I wouldn't have got there in that time without that opportunity to hustle and stretch myself and then invest. Now, there were other people in the room who said, yeah, she's just saying that because she's going to sell a coaching program. And I met them 3 years later and when I asked them where they were at, they were in the exact same position they were 3 years ago. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't have 3 years to waste, right? I'm not getting any younger. I'm in a hurry to get out there and make an impact and give my contribution to the world. And I'm sure you're the same. So what I've learned is that to succeed in business today, you simply must hire coaches, consultants, advisors, and mentors, because the real critical success stuff, it's not being taught in schools. It's not being taught in universities. And you can't get it for free on the internet. And now I've had this great question asked of me a lot. And that is, well, how do you choose the right mentor and coach? And it is such an important question because I know some of you would have already have said, yes, but I have hired coaches before and I got underwhelming results. I hear that a lot. And that's common sticking point number 3. You're not getting the right guidance from experts who share your values at the right time. So you're doing everything everyone else is saying that you should do at the expense of following your unique path to prosperity and being in your mojo lane. One of the biggest reasons that's happening is because you're building without getting your foundation in place, which is like building your castle in a cloud of hope rather than a foundation of fundamentals that are going to ensure you succeed. And it's actually not going to matter what course you do if you don't have that foundation in place or which coach you hire, you won't get the best out of it because that foundation is not in place. Makes sense, right? If you want to build a stable house that's going to last, you need a stable, solid foundation. It's exactly the same for your business. So clarity on what your foundation should be leads to the power that's going to allow you to act powerfully to transform your situation into the one that you want. And the best information you can possibly get, in my experience, is from something I've discovered that I call your soul's mission blueprint, which is like your soul blueprint for the best path that's going to unleash your higher potential. My journey to purpose and discovering this magnetic power of our mission blueprint, which I'll talk a lot about today, has taken decades. And lucky for some of you, it's not going to take you that long, right? Because you're going to learn off the back of my experience. But I've been around the block or two. I've been a serial entrepreneur for 30 years now, and I know I sound a lot younger than I actually am, but I've had 7 businesses. I'm from New Zealand, live in Australia, and I travel the world training social entrepreneurs. I'm considered one of the top speakers in social entrepreneurship in the bestseller Motivational Speakers America. I've been in the internet marketing for 20 years now. I've had cancer twice and been in my current double six-figure business as the mission mentor for 5 years now. I've consulted to thousands of business owners as an intuitive visionary and business mentor. And I first discovered this thing called a mission blueprint at the end of 2012 when I realized I consulted with over 1,000 business owners in that 1 year alone, and a handful of corporate executives who wanted to make a bigger difference with their own business. Throughout 2012, I started seeing this holographic image of people's mission blueprint. This was like the architectural blueprint for a house, only it was for the greatest potential for someone's life. And when I saw that big picture of everyone following this mission blueprint instead of their ego or social programming or what other people said they should do, I started to see this peaceful transition that was possible from the world that we're living in now to one that Eckhart Tolle says is the new earth or the golden age of prosperity. And I got really passionate about wanting to get the word out so everybody could align to this mission blueprint. And I spent some time designing self-discovery processes, some soul-searching processes that are going to help people discover it for themselves, because obviously, there's only so many people I can help one-on-one, right? I put all of that into a 5-step formula called the Purpose to Profit formula, which helps you build that solid foundation based on the information we gather from your soul's mission blueprint. This is where you make the biggest impact, where you're capable of creating the greatest change in the world. I am considered the expert in the field of monetizing your mission and purpose according to Google. So that's saying something. And if you Google monetize your mission for world change or just monetize your mission, you're going to see that my websites and my blogs and videos and what have you dominate the front page of Google. And they have done for the past 4 years. So you are with the right person today if you are wanting to make more money by making a bigger difference in the world, because I'm the go-to mentor for that. And I can help you become the go-to person for your right niche too. Now, I'm going to give you the right information you need to know to build that solid foundation using my formula. So how do you find this unique pathway to your mission blueprint? And this is an important question to answer, especially for you mature entrepreneurs who've been on purpose and you've succeeded, but you're feeling there's a bigger mission out there for you. That means that there's some part of your blueprint that's activating and it wants attention. Now, this is the number one big mistake I see people make all the time when they're trying to clarify their bigger purpose in order to get that clear direction and connection to that greater mission. And that is they stop short of the discovery when they come up with some narrow form of what they think their purpose is. So to give you some examples, I've got a few clients that come to me saying, I know my purpose is to coach and help people reach their true potential, but I don't have the clarity on my niche or my niche topic. Or they'll say, I know my purpose is to raise the consciousness on the planet, but I'm lacking direction on how to do that, or a whole lot of other statements that are similar to that. So this tells me a number of things. Firstly, they've confused the big broad topic of purpose with a narrow sentence, a type of role like coaching or a type of business. Your purpose has nothing to do with any of those. And here's why. So if you consider if a certain type of role or a business or a need is eliminated in our society, like AI technology replaces coaches, for example, does that mean you no longer have a purpose? No. So purpose is much broader and more general than that, and it's always evolving. But the bottom line is that people often think they know their purpose, but they really only know one aspect of it. Because when you do know the whole picture and you've got those nitty-gritty details, you don't lack clarity of direction or certainty. So here's the success framework that clarifies why you're really on the planet and what problem you're here to solve in the world, so you know what that big purpose is. You've got all the nitty-gritty details. Now, what's great about this purpose to profit formula is that you will forever have some kind of measuring stick to know if you're on track or not. You'll also have something to help you make decisions based on whether it's going to fulfill your purpose or not as well. Now, there are 2 steps to aligning. I call the first step clarify your expansion method, and second one locate your mission mojo. And when you have that clarified, you have what I call a mission mojo wheel, which reveals the deeper layers of why you're here and what you're here to do. And when you know all of these elements that we're going to uncover in just a moment, you not only have clear direction for your business or your business idea and what you're going to be birthing next, but also how to level up to that next stage of your big mission. And you begin to tap into the magnetic power of your soul's mission blueprint as well. And you also have clarity on how to market yourself, which can be a minefield, right? There's so much you can do. What do you focus on? And then what don't you focus on because it's not part of your purpose or it's not where your mojo is. Now, whether you end up doing the deep transformation work with me or not, here's what you want to be aligning to in your business so that you get that greater impact, that greater satisfaction and the deeper sense of purpose that you're doing exactly what you came here to do and you are making really big waves in the world. Well, the first thing you want to get clear on are these things called your primary expressions, and we've all got about 5 to 8 of them. Because this is where you begin to access your mission blueprint and you begin to expand. Hence, I've called this step clarify your expansion method. And these are ways of expressing yourself that tap you into your mojo and have you feeling passionate about what you do. But most importantly, these expressions, when synergized together, form your genius zone. So if you're expressing one and not the others throughout your working week, then you're not in your zone. And therefore, you're not getting the best results that you could be. Now, there are lots of expressions, and what I find with people who don't feel connected to the greater purpose, or they feel they're on purpose but not making the big impact, or they've been on purpose and they're feeling bored, it's time to level up. There's always some primary expressions that are lying dormant in their business and they're not being expressed. And I also find that most people have some idea about what some of these expressions are, but it's the ones that are hidden that you don't know that come together like a jigsaw puzzle, and they create the magic and the magnetism that actually bring in the big breakthroughs. That when I applied my primary expressions in my business, this is how I got the big breakthrough. And Lisa as well, when she got that overnight online success with Google officials. And all of my clients who implement this, especially those who are sort of already on purpose, get huge breakthroughs in a really quick period of time just by implementing this one step alone. And I would say 99.9% of coaches, consultants, product creators that come to me that are lacking clarity in direction, they're not making that big impact that they want to do, they're not expressing their genius zone. Now, the second step is to locate your mission mojo. And mission mojo is that word I've applied to a whole lot of factors that come together that give you magnetism. Now, these are the various deeper layers of your purpose, starting with your life mission, which is that big picture doing part of your purpose. The expression modalities and the higher purpose are the being part of your purpose, what you're here to be, and the being states you're here to help others achieve. And the life mission is a doing part of your life purpose, what you're actually here to do. So when you get a sense there's something else you're here to do or something bigger, you're alluding to the fact that you've got a mission here on earth, and you do. And that mission, by the way, is very different from your actual business mission statement. But when you can successfully infuse your life mission into your business mission, this is when you get to make a bigger impact. And this is probably where I differ from just about everyone else out there teaching purpose and mission work. It's that infusion of the big picture of your life into the business that gets you the magic. And you get more clarity of direction also on how you should monetize and what you should monetize as well. So your life mission is always much bigger than what you think it is, because your life mission is about the ripple effect of change you catalyze on the planet, not how you affect people's lives. How you affect people's lives is part of your higher purpose. Remember, purpose is being, mission is doing. Now, this is where I really get excited, because over the last 5 years, I've been working with business owners to infuse that life mission into their business. And I've discovered that each and every one of us are here to help solve some major problems in the world. And sometimes it's direct and sometimes it's indirect through the ripple effect. So here's something interesting, and I think you're going to love it. If you haven't seen this before, this is the United Nations global goals that outline the big world problems that need to be solved. And people like Jack Canfield and Roger Hamilton, they're now teaching that everyone's purpose falls into one of these 17 big world problems. But there's one problem with that. The chart is incomplete. And in the work I'm doing with changemakers, I'm seeing that they've come here to solve some pretty big problems that aren't on this list. So here's my complete list that I made up that includes problems like government and corporate corruption. Hello! Why isn't that on the global goals list? Because corruption creates many of the problems on that list in the first place, right? So I've added these to form a complete list. Now your life mission will have a dominant problem here on this list that you solve again either directly or through the ripple effect. And you do want to know what problem that you're here to solve, because if you're working at a business that isn't directly solving it or causing a different ripple effect, then the total life satisfaction won't be there and you're not making the biggest impact that you can be making because you're not tapping into that mission mojo. You're not doing what you're actually supposed to be doing. Now, I've developed these things called Mission Mojo avatars that go with each and every one of these world problems so that my clients can use this information to laser target their marketing and their social good messaging. And you're going to have a dominant one again, very much like the problems, and two supporting avatars. So when you know what these avatars are, you'll be able to use that information to shape your social good messaging, which is super important, as you know, to making sales going into the future. But today, you also need to trade greater good and purpose, which is being called social capital, because 50% of the global consumer population are looking to feel connected to a sense they're contributing to the greater good with their purchase, or there's a bigger purpose behind their purchase that they can participate in rather than just exchanging goods and services for money. So you need social capital, and this is where you get it here in knowing your Mission Mojo avatars and the problems that you solve. Now, if you're not offering your prospective clients and customers social capital in your exchange, then you're losing 50% of your potential sales right now, and that number's only going to increase as we head fully into a purpose-driven economy. Now, there's gold in those avatars from a branding and a positioning perspective for you. And you can't just be saying you give to charity anymore. You need to go further because we've evolved beyond that. So what I do here in this step is help people match their life mission with their business mission so they get that mission mojo, they get the biggest impact out there they can make, they get to have the greatest satisfaction, they're making the world a better place, they're leaving their legacy, and they know how to communicate their social capital to prospective clients and customers, because that's going to end up making more sales. Now, are you beginning to see that there's so much more to clarifying what your big purpose is, particularly in a business context, right? But wait, there's more. So if you've been multitasking, come back to me because just about every new client or participant of my programs have this wrong when they first come to me, and it's all around being in the niche you're here to serve and prosper in. And the more I work with people's soul's mission blueprints, the more I'm really seeing that we've got a soul group that we're here to serve and prosper with. And that prosper with is the key part. So your soul group is a particular crowd of people that you have the same values, shared goals, common bonds. So if you message your offers to this group, your messages will resonate more, your work will resonate, and you'll make more sales. It's as simple as that. You attract more of your ideal clients who love your work and you love to work with them, and they carry your work forward more than others do. So this is the best niche market, in other words, for you to work in, your soul group. These are the best avatar potential clients and customers because this group of people are part of you fulfilling your purpose. Now, for those of you who want to help the poor or people who can't afford your services, listen up because this is really exciting. Your soul group niche is diverse across the socioeconomic scale. So by identifying the top to middle range of people in this soul group, you make more than enough money so you can then gift or sponsor those at the bottom end of the money scale. And I want to show you how this works in action. This is Priya Thacker. She's from the UK, lives in Hong Kong. She had a calling to help raise poor Indian women out of poverty. But being a high-paid real estate person, she didn't see how that was going to end up being a mission-driven business for her, so she was a bit confused. And we found out that her soul group were a particular type of Indian women change makers. And by focusing on the top end of the socioeconomic scale to the middle end, helping them find their voice, unleash their brilliance, she was then able to give back through scholarships and programs she's developing now for Indian women in more disadvantaged economic situations. And this is another Right Mission, Right Money graduate of mine who, in full disclosure, is also a friend, Susie Hutchison. Now, she's on stage with Roger Hamilton from Entrepreneurs Institute. Now, Susie was a tough case, not just because she was a friend of mine, but one of her primary expression modalities was philanthropy. So how do you monetize giving money away? So Susie has a multi-million-dollar company in the travel industry, and she wanted to work full-time helping people in economically disadvantaged communities, and she wanted to get paid for it. So the long story short, we got clear on her alignment, we got clear on the model. I introduced her to Roger Hamilton, who was one of my business mentors, and now she's actually set up a global impact business in partnership with someone else and Roger. And this is Susie on stage with Roger only a few weeks ago, announcing her venture and what's happening globally with it. And it was a really proud mama bear moment for me, seeing her up there in the full fruition of that idea, playing a big game, glowing global. She's about to go to Necker Island to spend a week with Richard Branson to forward the project. So this business model that I'm showing you, even though I'm using the word soul and spiritual and purpose, it's really tangible and it can really make you a big player in the world, like Susie, like Priya, like myself, like other clients that I've been working with. Now, what's really cool about finding all these elements in your Mission Mojo wheel, once you know your expressions, your life mission, and your niche, you're going to get that greater clarity on the message that you're here to deliver and align with your purpose so that you're starting to get some congruity. And when you start implementing each and every one of these aspects in your purpose into your business, obviously along with your gifts and your talents and that higher purpose, we talked about the higher expression of your primary modalities and then really importantly, what is the point of monetization? We've got to look at how things are changing and where they're going rather than current business models or past business models so that you're robust and future-proofed. So when that gets sorted, everything starts to get crystal clear for you and it actually also starts to fall into place. You have some flow going as long as you're monetized properly, which we'll get into next. Now, these are the deeper layers of your purpose you probably didn't even realize were part of your purpose because no one's teaching it out there. I know because I get entrepreneurs coming to me all the time, still confused and lacking direction about how to level up, even though they've done purpose work with other people. Now, what everybody else does, because I don't like putting people's work down, is all great stuff. It's just not complete. And it's the completion that's going to give you the mojo, that's going to give you the magnetism. Now, I don't know if you're aware of this, but each time you scale, you need a different business model to get you there because the business model that got you to where you are isn't the business model that's going to get you to where you want to go. And this is part of the reason why so many people, when they go to grow their business, they go to scale it, they struggle. It's because they're using the same model. They haven't switched up their model. But here's the even bigger reason why you need to monetize your mission-driven business using a completely different business model from anything else that's currently being taught. And number one, as I mentioned, social capital in the exchange process now, because 50% of global customers are looking for that. But also, you need to leverage in a way you've never leveraged before. And you have to move away from this one-show pony model. Now, the one-show pony model is where you have one product or type of service and it's just you. And that means you get replaced by robots or AI, artificial intelligence, and you're out of business. That's business 1.0, right? The majority of them fail when the market moves in a new direction. And I've had visions as I've been working over several thousand people now to connect them to this mission blueprint, that as long as you're monetizing according to that blueprint of yours, you're going to have relevancy in the market and even when it dramatically changes. So here's the monetization model I work with called my Circle the Wagon strategy. It's aligning to several laws of nature. or the laws of physics. You probably have heard about the law of attraction, where there's lots of laws out there that we can align to and that can help us manifest what it is we want. Septimal law is one of them, the law of seven. So if you want to maximize leverage and magnetism, you need to build your offers in clusters of 7. And these 7 offers give you something called mass, and that gives you gravity. The more mass you have, the more you can attract to you. And I call it the law of mass attraction because when you acquire a certain mass in your marketing, your business model, you draw to you and you manifest. If you were looking at taking on a business coach to help you grow your business faster, and you went to the website and this coach had one page and they just did one thing, a coaching service, and you had one option. And then you went to their competition and they had a book, a workshop, a few different coaching packages or a few different programs, a mini course, whatever, 7 packages of something, all on the subject. You're more likely to think of them as an expert that you would hire because they have more mass. Someone who's only offering one product or one service or one type of product and service doesn't look so much like an expert in today's market. Now, this circle the wagon strategy is actually the first of the 3 little known secrets to a sustainable, profitable, purpose-aligned business that's going to allow you to have cash flow like a waterfall. So if you want steady, stable, consistent cash flow like a waterfall, you're going to need to have more than one income stream. And 7 is good because it's aligning to a law of nature that creates gravity for you. Now, when you align all of the elements in your Mission Mojo wheel into your monetization model, so all of your offers are in alignment with your life purpose, your mission, your higher purpose, how you're here to express yourself, you get this thing called the congruity effect, which is the second of the 3 little known secrets to a sustainable mission-driven business. Now, the congruency effect communicates to people that you're the one to buy from. You're the one for the job. So the congruency effect carries its own magnetism then. And now just about everyone that comes to me to do any of my premium programs actually say these very words. I resonated with you and I knew you were the one to help me with my big breakthrough. So now that congruency comes because I've aligned elements of my mission blueprint to my business monetization model and people get it. Now we want your prospective clients and customers and participants getting it, that you're the one for them, don't we? Right? You want to be resonating with them so you're not having to sell. Now, obviously, if you're just beginning or you've only been working with 2 or 3 offers, then you're not going to create 7 offers all at once. That's going to scatter you and wear you down. You want a strategy that can focus you and also bring in extra positive cash flow in as little as 3 weeks, because let's face it, we can always do with more money because we can then give more back or level up in some way in our lifestyle, and hopefully both. So this is the second part of the monetize equation in the align, monetize, magnetize, purpose to profit formula. And you start by aligning to your now money now. And these are the first 2 offers in your circle the wagon strategy that generate money every week consistently. Now money now is more than just doing something to make money now. It's got to be an income generator, again, that fulfills your life's mission as you express yourself in the creation, the delivery and the marketing. And it has some form of leverage if you want the biggest attractor factor and actually generate abundant flows of cash within a mission-driven context. So by focusing on marketing your now money now, you actually build sales of the rest of your offers in your circle the wagon via the Pareto principle. I'm sure you've heard that. 80% of your profits will come from 20% of your clients. And then that in turn means your client customer acquisition cost is brought way down because one client isn't just going to mean the first amount of money they invest with you for the transformation. They could be investing in all other 6 of your offers, and then that increases your return on your investment and therefore your profit. Now, the success of this strategy is going to hinge on a couple of things. And the first one has to do with being in alignment with where your greatest mojo is. Otherwise, you're going to struggle to attract enough of the right clients into your funnel and you'll struggle to upsell. And that means you won't make the big impact and you won't be happy in your business. And the other thing success hinges on is you and whether or not your subconscious mind agrees with you. And this is the third of the little known secrets to a profitable purpose-aligned business. So let's find out if you've got the right mindset to make a lot of money in a mission-driven business or not. Does your subconscious mind agree with you when you say you want a business aligned to your greater purpose? You want to make that big impact and you want to make more money. And if it's not, what do you need to do to shift that? Because as Anthony Robbins says, success is 20% strategy and 80% psychology. So you can do all the actions out there, but if the head ain't right, the psychology ain't right, you're kind of treading wheels. And also, life, mission, and purpose aren't natural companions with money because we've had centuries of brain patterning and programming that have drummed into us that you start a business or you go to work to make money so you can pay bills. You don't learn at school what it is that you're really here to do and how to fulfill your purpose. We're taught, go to work, make money, pay bills. So we've been groomed and educated to think in terms of going to work to make a living, not going to work to creating a business that's going to make a difference in the world. And that's a relatively new phenomenon. Now, we also have these ancestral belief structures in our brain that has long separated purposeful work, spirituality, and passion in our thinking from work, reward, and money. And scientists are now saying as much as 50% of our brain stores 50 generations back of our ancestors' beliefs. So that's a lot. Now, there was a time when godly spiritual endeavors were carried out by the medicine man or the woman, and the rest of the tribe were workers who did the day-to-day work. So work and spirituality have been divided into two parts of our thinking and therefore split in different hemispheres of our brain. I call this split brain hemisphere syndrome. And most people have this split at some level, otherwise we wouldn't have the world that we live in today. And it's just a matter of degrees as to how active this split is in you. So a quick test to see how active this is in you is by listening to responses of these statements I'm about to make. Because you see, your mind might not agree with the statements, but if you've got some kind of parked energy or belief in the back of your subconscious mind, then it's going to cause some kind of a triggered response in the body, and that's what you listen to. So here we go. I'm going to read these statements, and I invite you to just listen really carefully what's going on internally for you. If I follow my big purpose, I won't make a lot of money. If I'm serving humanity, I should do that for free. If my gifts come from God, it's wrong to charge for them. I don't need a lot of money. There's more things to life than just money. I have to work hard for money. I'll lose money if I step up to my big purpose. So these are just a few. There's a whole lot of statements that form split brain hemisphere syndrome, and it creates resistance in you actually getting out there and making a big impact. It can actually even cause resistance in you doing the deep work to get to what that big mission is for you as well. So this is why in the fifth step in the Purpose to Profit formula, it's remove resistance. You need to systematically be working on removing the resistance caused by split brain hemisphere syndrome until you finally heal the split. And that takes consistency. That's very important. You just can't think positive and hope you're going to get somewhere. The deeper release work needs to be done. And what begins to happen when you release this resistance is that the full magnetism of your mission blueprint can reach the light of day, and you just get these magical surprise moments that leapfrog your business. Opportunities to advance yourself and your business flow toward you instead of you having to chase everything. You become an unstoppable force for good in the world. And that's why I call this step Magnetize in the Purpose to Profit formula. So here's the entire Purpose to Profit formula and all the nitty-gritty details. And if I ever have any issues or challenges in my business, I know that something is out of alignment in this formula, and all I need to do is look and go, yep, this is what I need to shift, change it, and I see progress, even leapfrogging. And when new clients come to me with any challenge, 100% of the time, I'm going to go here and I'm going to go, yep, you're out of alignment here. Yes, you don't have this right. You're out of alignment here, because usually most people are not aligned in several areas here. So this is really a pathway to not only get on track, but to stay on track to reach mission accomplished. And by aligning to your mission blueprint and the laws of nature, you're creating magnetism. So just as when electrons aligned facing a certain way, they create magnetism, and everything in the universe, including our thoughts, are made up of electrons. When your nitty-gritty details of your purpose and your mission and your message and so on are aligned in your business monetization model, you're creating magnetism. How cool is that? So this purpose to profit formula is simple to implement, but it is complex in discovering the deeper layers and doing the deeper transformational work. And here's why. Because it's difficult, if not impossible, to actually figure it all out for yourself. I certainly couldn't do it, and I'm psychic. But firstly, the mind is not trained to listen or recognize the clues that our soul is dropping us all the time as to what it is we're really here to do, which direction we should go in, and what we're really here for. Most people need some kind of outside help for that, or some kind of process to get that deep sense of connection and then the validation, so you don't second guess yourself, right? And there's also a lack of confidence and a lack of trust and intuition, which will have you discounting the clues. And this is why a logical process is also important, not just a sort of spiritual self-development process. It's got to make sense to you. You have to resonate with it, otherwise you'll continue to second guess yourself. This is really important. People often listen to the wrong guidance. Huge. And this might have happened to you. You thought you were following guidance and the result was underwhelming, and you'll make excuses. Oh, maybe I misunderstood the guidance, rather than actually go, well, maybe I was listening to the wrong voice, right? Because we've got a lot of voices in our head, and most of it's not guidance, it's just the monkey mind. And then most people are still wired to the past, and they don't have a handle on their future. And our education system has done that to us. It educates us to be behind the times, which is why you need to work with visionaries who've got a handle on what the future is looking like. So you don't have to bother with it. You just go, great, just tell me what I need to do. You can focus on your genius zone. But the bottom line is, the odds are against us finding all those nitty-gritty details for ourselves. And I had somebody who just joined my program only last week who said, and I could mess around for the next 6 months, who knows, maybe even 2 years, because it's taken me 4 years to get to where I am now, and not really actually get all of these pieces together, and still not be feeling like I'm making that big impact and I'm doing exactly what I'm here to do. Or I could just get it done and dusted by working with somebody, and then I'm onto it. I'm finally doing, that big purpose, that big mission of what I'm here to do. So you need a process, and you need outside insight to help you shape the whole thing so it really flows. I mean, I needed help, and that's just a fact of it. I'm not just saying that because, I'm wanting you to work with me, because I might not be the right person for you. If you're resonating with me, I'm the right person for you. If you're not resonating with me, there's somebody else out there that can help you. But I'm just, I'm telling it like it is, because a lot of people are failing out there. And they're failing because they totally don't get it, that you need somebody else's experience to bridge the gap in your own experience. It's just as simple as that. So Naina's a classic example of being confused because of all the conflicting and incomplete information about her purpose. She'd actually traveled the world for several years doing workshops and seeing consultants, only to end up more confused. She's a high-powered lawyer in the banking industry, and she was told she was a healer, but she couldn't get it because she didn't want to do one-on-one healing, because that meant she was going to take a dramatic dip in how much money she was earning. So she did the Right Mission, Right Money social entrepreneur training, and she says she got the most specific information I could ever get in relation to my life purpose and how I meant to serve on this planet. And those details gave her clarity on how to build a 7-figure global online business aligned to her purpose, and that's now allowed her to transfer out of the banking industry. Now, Dean Rawlings said that I dealt with money issues and I've got a lot more work coming in. So here's an example of what happens. You heal that split brain hemisphere syndrome. And he ended up having the busiest month ever. And he's actually gone on to be traveling the world, doing what he loves. He's got a lot more leverage in his business model, and he's in high demand. And he is a healer that's earning more money than most healers. And one of the biggest stumbling blocks I see business owners coming up against is that they don't think they've got the time or the money to invest in getting their align, monetize, magnetize model in place. So they get so caught up in just getting through the day-to-day in their business that they think that by prioritizing time and financial investment in the alignment process, it's time and money lost, and they're better off just soldiering on with what they're doing right now. Now, nothing can be further from the truth, because alignment and proper monetization has the ability to turn your business around in as little as 3 weeks. So take Katia, who improved her sales by 200% following my formula within the first 6 weeks of taking time to prioritize her purpose alignment and her monetization model. If Katia had continued on her path of what she was doing in that moment, not taking any different action, just soldiering on during that 6 weeks, she would have continued to struggle financially because she was struggling for months. But instead, she made 200% more money by getting her alignment and monetization right. So if you want to make more money in the next few weeks and months, then you actually can't afford not to get this alignment and monetization piece handled first. Now, here's what happened to Stephen Levy when he prioritized that alignment. He had a business he wasn't passionate about, and so it was struggling. And after implementing everything he learned from the course, he rapidly built his coaching practice to where it can support him and his family in just a few months. Now, he's got a lot of value from the soul resonance marketing I teach you in this course. And he says using Nicola's formula to communicate my message is truly outstanding. Every time I speak my message at networking events, I end up with new clients. I've managed to get my coaching business off the ground in a relatively short time frame. I get that a lot. Speed seems to be my mojo. I would never be where I am right now without Right Mission, Right Money. It would have taken me 2 to 3 years to get there. There are so many courses where people leave you. Nicola's format really handholds you through the whole thing in an authentic and genuine way. And then Belinda Ortiz finally got confidence to go for it in her right niche, and a pathway to get to that right niche after having done so many coaching courses and programs that weren't actually getting that alignment right for her. And she says what a lot of people say again about my work: I wish I had met her 3 years ago. It would have saved me a lot of time and money. So Right Mission, Right Money is not only getting your business foundation up to be making that impact and building your legacy, it's actually collapsing time for you. And let's face it, none of us are getting any younger, are we? So I want to change gears here for a moment and invite you to just imagine what would it be like to be on the other side of the challenges you're facing right now. So you may want to close your eyes, because this visualization we're going to do can help you build mass you need to actually manifest what you're visualizing. So slow your breathing down and imagine waking up feeling excited about your day, knowing that the energy you give out is going to be rewarded with fulfilling work and money. You can relax, because you know money is going to come in whether you choose to work or not. So imagine being passionately engaged, serving people you love to work with, and they're inspired and uplifted as you help them with your unique gifts and talents. And you feel even more elated when you check your bank account and you see a whole lot of money is there. Way more than enough for your bills and needs. Maybe even pay down your debt or your credit card. You go on an extended vacation. Give to some of your favorite causes. So really see yourself having all of that. And how does it make you feel? What's the word to describe that feeling? So if you want to anchor that feeling into your body for manifestation, type the word into the chat box here and let's start creating it for you. So the only question left then to answer is, do you really want that? And are you prepared to do what it takes to get that vision? Because if you are prepared to do what it takes, then we've got some work to do on getting your fundamentals in place and a solid leveraged foundation sorted out so you can have what you dream of. Now, if you've been resonating with me and what I'm saying, and you value yourself and your future enough to make that investment in making sure that you get to that dream that you've imagined sooner rather than in later years, then I'm going to invite you to join me in my global social entrepreneur training program called Right Mission, Right Money, as it helps you get aligned, monetized, and magnetized in a systematic, step-by-step way. And each of the 6 modules you'll be mentored through are in 3 parts: training so that you have the right knowledge or the skill needed to do the necessary soul searching or discovery processes, where you get those nitty-gritty details of your mission blueprint revealed. And the 3rd part is mission implementation. So you're going to be implementing everything you learn every step of the way, not just at the end of the course. So you're actually working on your business and growing it as you're going through each of these modules. So if it's okay with you, I'd like to show you exactly what you're going to get and what you're going to experience if you decide to go through with this program with me. So in Module 1, this is where you're going to learn how to connect with your soul and its mission blueprint, plus improve your intuition and your confidence in it. And there's a great pre-guided connection process to help you move past the social programming so you can really connect to the soul and its unique pathway forward for you. And in the soul searching part, you're going to clarify those 5 to 8 primary expression modalities, and this is what gives you that clear direction, remember, and your path to expansion, and what it is you need to monetize to tap into that magnetic mojo, where you need to focus in your business. Plus, you'll learn what are your soul resonance words that you can inject in your marketing to make that magnetic to clients and customers. Now, people love this module because they discover so much about themselves and it reignites passion and excitement. And here's an example of an email I got from a recent participant who's been in her field for many years, and she's getting huge epiphanies. And she says, I just wanted to let you know how much I'm thriving on the processes of my self-discovery through your course. I've never been able to see myself this clearly before. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so excited to finally uncover my own gifts and really own them consciously. So I'm good at the being, and I'm so excited to activate the doing part of my life's mission. And I did this masterclass a month ago, and I had somebody pop in the chat box who was doing it again, even though they'd even purchased the program. And she says, I've gained some great clarity that has me very excited. So do you see that word excitement appear? And I hear this a lot. So if you're worried about not getting results from this program like others you've done, rest assured you're not going to fail, because this is getting you in touch with your unique soul path, and you can't fail at discovering that in my processes. You're finally going to know, why are you really here on the planet, and what are you really here to do? And then you're going to take the information you've learned here to inject it into your social media marketing to make it more magnetic and give you what it is that you actually need to focus on in your social media to get better results. Now in Module 2, Locate Your Mission Mojo, this is about getting that congruent effect in your alignment. You'll clarify your life's mission, your right niche in your soul group, where you'll prosper, the higher purpose, the right message to market, your unique gifts, and the big picture of your life and your point of monetization. Those nitty-gritty details of your purpose and mission are going to reveal themselves here. And then we show you how to inject that into your business mission statement and build that social capital that is so needed when you're making sales in today's market. You'll clarify what problem you're here to solve. What are your mission mojo avatars? So we now know the focal point of your monetization, of where you make the greatest contribution and where it is that you can receive the greatest result. And then in Module 3, Establish Your Social Business Legacy Model, here's where we get down to the business of building the business model, the monetization, so that it's got maximum leverage. And it means that you're making money by working less delivery hours so that you can do all those other things you want to do. Take your holiday, take time out to read a book, or take a sabbatical, because money still comes in whether you work, sleep, or play. and that it maximizes that Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule so you can reduce that customer acquisition cost and you end up making more money at the end of the day. So specifically, we're going to get really clear on what 7 offers are going to give you the mass and the magnetism and position you as the authority in your field. And how will the flow happen in terms of your value ladder? What is your pricing structure and the deeper levels of transformation you offer as people go through that value ladder and your clients and customers build, a loyalty. You build that loyal following of customers and clients that will come back and buy from you time and time again. You'll learn how to integrate your mission alignment with the naming of your offers and how to create that mass attraction so you pitch yourself as the expert in your topic or product line, even if you haven't built out the offers or the products yet. Now, I've had clients do this fulfillment part and say, this is absolute genius. And they report back to me and say they've got new clients just because of the part here that I'm going to teach you in this fulfillment, how to pitch yourself as the expert even before you actually are the expert. Then in Module 4, align your starting point to now, money now. This is where we look at how are we going to get that cash flowing like a waterfall effect? What are the income generators we're going to focus on and start getting you to market so that you're getting that consistent leveraged cash flow that makes your business stable and it builds sustainability into it. I'm going to give you also some swipe files on how to market yourself in alignment with your mission, mojo, and purpose so your activities become part of fulfilling your purpose and mission and eliminate that fear of resistance to sales. So when you're actually promoting yourself, you're actually delivering your message as well as fulfilling your purpose at the same time. So that takes the scariness out of promoting and sales. Now, you and I both know that there's going to be some times when you know what you have to do, but you're going to hold yourself back from doing it, right? So we're going to start blasting through the blocks that are holding you back here in Module 5, Remove Resistance. This is where I'll show you exactly how the split brain hemisphere syndrome present, how it works, and then how to heal it. And we're going to heal it with some processes. You're going to learn how to identify your blocks, your limiting beliefs and programming, and then systematically, we're going to dissolve a whole lot of limiting beliefs right then and there for you so you feel lighter and freer to move forward and create some momentum and really unleash your magnetism so nothing's actually holding you back from that magnetic attraction of bringing in people to you. So by the end of this module, you're going to be proficient at dissolving your own limiting beliefs and blocks in all areas of your life, not just about your mission and your purpose. So that's great, right? It's like this is a course in and of itself that's worth the whole course just right here. But I put this in because I know that this is a really important step to actually getting the result. And if it wasn't there, a lot of people wouldn't actually get the results because they'd still be holding themselves back. And we want you unleashed as an unstoppable force for good in the world, don't we? Now at Module 5, we've actually finished my Purpose to Profit formula, but I take you one step further in Module 6, which is all about preparing you for the challenges that you've got ahead with the 7 solutions. Now this module's made up of me having spent years looking at graduates and how they go through building their business, because sometimes there are challenging days, and what they're going to need to get over those challenges really fast so they keep building momentum and they reach mission accomplished. So you're going to be armed with lots of tools and techniques to move forward. Now you're going to get access to this entire training for the lifetime of the program, which means you can revisit and remind yourself of things year after year without paying anything extra. And I update these modules regularly. Every year there are updates being made because the market is changing. So that's a really good deal to get all that new material without paying anything extra for it. I think you can agree. Now, you're probably thinking around about now, well, that actually sounds great. I'd love to do this program if it makes sense, for me financially, right? How much is it going to cost? That's always in our mind around about now. Now, I'm going to get to that in the next slide. But first, I want to create some transformation for you right here, right now, because as an entrepreneur, if you want to be successful in your business, you actually need to get off thinking like that. And you need to think in terms of not whether or not you can afford it, but what is your return on investment? Because in business, you do need to part with money in order to get success back. That is just a fact. So you want to think of, what am I going to gain when I invest my money and my time here? And then also, what am I going to lose if I don't do that? If I just continue to do this on my own, what's my loss? Because that will give you a clear indication of what the actual true return on investment is. And whatever that is in your mind, it's actually not what you're going to be paying for the course. I can assure you of that. So let's go through the breakdown of the value that you're getting here. In Module 1, I could charge $1,900 for that, just for that module alone. In fact, each module is actually a whole course in and of itself that's worth far more than what you're going to pay for the entire program. By the time you get to the 6th module, like a course within a course, it all adds up to just over $9,000. So those are the training modules. Now, over and above that, you're also going to receive my personal guidance and intuitive insight over 2 special group guidance sessions, so you're not going to be left alone. I personally look through all your clarity assessments and help you shape your positioning, get finer distinctions on your mission, your purpose, your monetization, and we make sure that you're 100% on track. So these aren't Q&A sessions like other programs out there. They're bona fide me getting in, rolling my sleeves up and giving you each individual guidance. Now, I've had someone in my last month's group session actually say they've had so many light bulb moments listening to me mentor people through their self-discovery findings that it had so much value before I even got to them. So you're not just going to get my guidance, you're going to get the borrowed benefits of the rest of the group, which is invaluable really. And this extra guidance session that brings the total value of the program to $10,000, and you only need to start with an initial investment of $325, so it's over 4 installments. So if you're someone who likes to save money and save $300, then with just one installment, the whole mentoring program is $987. So you'll see the link in the chat box that you can click there to view the entire offer. You can hit that link to go register if you're ready to start. And there's an extra special bonus for you if you are registering now before we close the webinar, which I'll tell you about in just a moment. Now, you can easily make this money back following the implementation part of each of the modules. In fact, Module 1 shows you very specifically how you can make that money back within a few weeks. And some of my graduates have even made it back within 24 hours of registering. So of course there are some bonuses which I'll tell you about in just a moment, but first of all I want to let people off the hook if it's not for you. This isn't for you if you're looking to go into business in a traditional mercenary model and you're just wanting to make money doing anything you can think of rather than actually wanting to make money by making a difference that lines up with your purpose. It's also not for you if you're wanting to use this program to make your multi-level marketing business succeed. These types of businesses have their own model. You need to follow that and the rules that they give you. So it's not really a fit. If you're wanting developing a coaching business that runs alongside your multi-level marketing business, then definitely this is for you. Now, if you're not serious about investing in yourself or your future, this course has a significant amount of soul searching. So it's not for you if you're not going to invest, in yourself. There is time needed for the self-discovery that's going to bring you into your soul's magnetic field of manifestation. So it's going to need you to be committed to yourself and investing that time in the discovery, specifically in the first week. And it's not a lot of time when you consider how many years you might have spent trying to figure this out on your own. Nevertheless, it does require you to invest in yourself. Now, who this is for is if you're sort of on purpose, but you're looking to step up into that big mission and make a bigger impact, and you're frustrated because you know you have so much more to give and it's really time to make that significant contribution. Now, it's also for you if you're lost without clear direction on your purpose or business idea and you know you need help to get further faster because you don't want to waste the next few years of your life trying to figure it out on your own. It's also for you if you're currently in a job, but you want to start a business that makes a difference. And this is precisely the time you actually want to do this work, so you have a transition strategy that gives you the courage and the confidence to make that change and take that leap into a new business. It's also for you if you've been in the game for a while and you know you've got much bigger mission out there and you're overdue to step up and make that significant contribution and birth that next level of your work, and you don't want to fluff around. You just want to get to the clarity, build the momentum, and be out there with your mission mojo, getting it right the first time, so you make sure that you won't have to come back and start all over again. Now, if that's you and you want to get started right away, you can for an initial installment of just $325 and then 3 more installments. Or again, you can save $300 with option 2 and go ahead and register now before this webinar closes, so you get that super duper bonus only available if you register from this webinar. Now, I know there are going to be those of you who really want more personal attention and you've got the funds to invest in yourself even more. So you can have 6 private sessions on top of this mentoring program with the training and the group guidance. And that's $3,400. Now, I actually only take on 3 people each marketing cycle for this because I don't have a lot of one-on-one time for people in my business. And I really want to give you the time that you need. So we deep dive much deeper into your life mission, your branding, your positioning, how your marketing's looking, what your messaging is, what those offers are, and we start implementing a lot. We do massive amounts of implementation if you're doing those private sessions with me. It's a turbo injection of guidance so we can build rapid growth for you and you can accelerate into that big vision. And if you'd like to be one of those 3 people, you can either register now if you've got the resonance that this is going to work for you, or if you want to talk to me a little bit more, book a discovery at nicolagrace.com/discovery. And I'm going to lock in the special webinar bonus for those of you who book a discovery before we finish this webinar. Now, everyone, whether you do the training with or without the private sessions, gets these maximizer bonuses valued at over $3,700. Now, these prices are real value, not inflated, because I believe that you get crap karma when you're dishonest with people. So I'm very modest in my pricing. So let's have a look at all of these bonuses. This is the clearing the common blocks to knowing your purpose, which are 5 clearing sessions on all the places I've identified people get stuck in, and we're just going to dissolve those blocks. Then there's the Facebook group for my grads, and this is where I put in tools. We do networking. So there's people that have formed business partnerships with the networking done on this Facebook group, and you may even find people that you can joint venture with. Then there's the Mission Mentor pep talks and training for that's delivered over the course of a year. So each month you're going to get a new video for me, pep talking you, keeping you on track. And I love to give this bonus because I know that there are going to be days where it's going to be, let's face it. And if I'm in your ear every month, I'm just behind you, helping you, pushing you forward, keeping you motivated, keeping you inspired. You also get a $1,000 discount off my Leadership and Legacy Business Retreat. Now, this is very hands-on where we unpack your business and we look at the various elements within this model to make sure that you're getting the best results you possibly can. Those events are between September and November. You'll find information about that on the website. And then for the few of you who choose the private mentoring option, you're going to receive an extra 2 bonuses. The first one's a marketing curate. This is where I'm going to look at all of your marketing and your website, your social media, and see how we can get better results from that. If you're in business startup, this bonus will get delivered once you've actually got all of that up and running. And you also get a free ticket to my Leadership and Legacy Business Retreat. You actually have the $1,000 discount ticket off the retreat that you can give to a friend or a partner, and you get to come to the event for free, and that's minus the accommodation and the actual resort fees and food. And I'm not going to be giving this bonus away for much longer at the moment. I'm really doing it just because I want more success cases. So I want to get an engine behind you and really get you picking up that momentum to succeed. Now, this retreat isn't a pitch fest, by the way, like a lot of the other free bonuses you get out there for events. We actually get together. I'm sitting down next to you. We're sitting at tables together as well, networking. We're really unpacking your business and we're moving you forward in a very significant way. You get a lot of hand holding from me in person. Now, here's a super duper bonus that's only available to those who register from this webinar before it closes in about 10 minutes, which means once the webinar is over, this bonus is gone. And that's an exit strategy power session valued at $500 with me, not someone else, it's with me. And remember, I'm an award-winning strategist. So where do you think your business will be if you had my strategy skills, my psychic and intuitive insight on every aspect of your business as we help you map your path forward for success, right? You'd be further faster, wouldn't you? And I'm really well known for giving so much value in a private session. In fact, Barbara Gumman said you'll get more value in an hour than you can possibly dream of. And remember, this bonus of a success strategy session put together for you by me is not available once this webinar has ended. So don't drag your feet if you want to be part of this amazing community of change makers getting well paid to transform our world. We're going to be opening up for Spotlight Your Mission and guidance and questions in just a moment. So after that, the bonus disappears. So if you're ready to get that big breakthrough and finally get on with what you're really here to do, making much bigger impact and the money you deserve, then you want to go ahead and click the link right now in the chat box or the image that appears there so you can go to the registration website. And if you do that, you're going to get that extra bonus of that success strategy with me that's not advertised on the website. And if you're wanting to do the private mentoring version of this program, you can either register now, or if you want to talk to me about it, book a discovery session for today or tomorrow at nicolagrace.com/discovery. Remember, there is only 3 spots for that, and they usually fill up within 24 to 48 hours of me doing a marketing cycle. So you don't want to put that discovery off into sometime in the future, otherwise you'll lose out. Now, here are the payment options again. So really the decision to be made is whether you want to plod along for the next few years exactly how things are right now, trying to figure everything out on your own, losing out on the money you could be making right now and the impact you could be making by not having clear focus or a solid purpose-aligned foundation, versus just getting it done, having everything in place within the next 6 weeks with my guidance from somebody who's been there and broken through and has got some processes for you to help you get it right the first time. You actually already know whether you need to do this course because you've resonated with what I've been saying and you've been saying yes to some of the questions that I've got. So really it's a matter of, do you think you're worth the investment to take that big action step now? And for some of you, it may mean you need to do a bit of hustling. You've seen a big possibility for your life here today, and it begins to happen when you take action. So if you're in, sign up right now before we close the carts. Okay, so let's start looking at some of these frequently answered questions as you've got them coming in there in the chat box. I want to start by answering that most frequently asked question: will I get the clarity? And the answer is yes, because you're being guided to go deep within yourself in a way that you've probably never been before, even though you may have done a lot of work, because I get that from everybody. I get that from people who've been doing personal and spiritual work for decades, and they still have profound shifts and connections. It's all about getting clarity. Every single step in here is all about getting clarity. So the answer is a big yes. Let me just show you an unsolicited email I got from Sally Thompson here. She just sent an email when she was in the middle of Module 1 saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, she's thriving on the process and she's never been able to see herself this clearly before. And now she's excited to finally uncover her gifts and really own them consciously. And she's a master healer. Like, this is somebody who's been on the spiritual path for decades. And then there's Sharon, who said that she's completing Module 1 today and she's gained some great clarity that has her excited. So yes, yes, yes on yes, you will get the clarity. Even if you've got in the back of your mind that there's something wrong with you, because there's nothing wrong with you. Great. So, and by the way, if I don't get to your question at the end, I'm going to be emailing So here's a question I get asked a lot as well. Will this work for me even when I don't have an idea for my business? The answer is yes, because this is what you need to know to help you put your business model together, to get your idea clarified. Will this work for me if I have an existing business already on purpose or following my calling? And again, the answer is yes. And there's obviously a reason you're here. There's some missing pieces. Something's not firing up as much as you want. So we're going to find out what those missing pieces are. And, to be honest, if you're already sort of kind of on track or you've got a general idea, those are the people that get the fastest results from this program, just simply because you're already in motion. The other question I get a lot is, I'm doing another program. Can I do this program in conjunction with this one, or is it best to wait? It's never best to wait to put a foundation down. It's never best to wait to put the wheels on your car, right? This is what you need to move forward. So yes, you can do this in conjunction with other programs. And what I actually find is that the program that you're doing, you'll end up getting better results with, because you're doing this foundation work. Can I do this program later? Well, the answer is yes and no. Just depends. And certainly the prices that are here today, gone tomorrow. So that you got to consider that. But what I really find behind this question is, I'd like to do it now, but I don't have either the time or the money, or I'm not ready trap. And here's the deal. If your soul has brought you here, right, and you're here now, right now, you're still here, then obviously it wants this. It wants to move forward because it's brought you here. So you are ready. It's just that mind kicking in to make excuses to not take action, right? And again, remember, this is the course that's also got that component in it that's going to get you out of indecision and get you into action. So you just really need to push yourself along if you're wanting to do it. If you don't want to do it, it's a completely different story. But if you are wanting to do it, but you're pushing it off further, then what you're saying is, I'm going to try and drive my car without the wheels, or with only one wheel. And that doesn't make sense to me, and it shouldn't make sense to you either. So now it's decision time, really. It's like, are you in or you're out? If you're in, you just simply choose which option is going to work for you. The website you want to go to is rightmissionrightmoney.com, or you can click the link in the corner. And just really briefly, what happens once you register, you're going to automatically go to the login page for the Mission Mastery Academy, where Right Mission, Right Money is and delivered. So you can choose your login right then and there. Get started if you want. You're also going to get an email welcoming you, and a series of emails that step you through each module as we go. You'll also get another email to help you choose what time zone you want to show up in for your guidance calls. So comprehensive, works well. So I've really done my best to try and think of everything here for you. And finally, this is where you can get the map of every step you need in place to build that solid foundation and structure for your business. You go to nicolagrace.com/WG, and you can download that, print it, stick it up on your wall. So from now on, when things aren't going well in your business, you know you're out of alignment somewhere in all of these 5 steps and the various different elements that form up those 5 steps. And I want to leave you with this quote from Mark Twain. He says, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bow line, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. And I love that quote because it's so true. It's been my personal experience that you do regret having not taken action in a timely fashion on things that you want to do. That all being said, that's it from me for now. And thank you so much for listening all the way to the end. I think people that come all the way to the end are really awesome. So pat yourself on the back. I hope you've taken lots of notes. And if you've seen everything that you've learned here, this is just a smidgen, a very small portion of what you will learn when you join the Right Mission, Right Money program. Not only that, there's the discovery that that you finally get to know why you're on the planet and what you're really here to do, and how to proceed forward in your mission, and how to make your business profitable. For those of you who have decided to join me, thank you so much. I will be speaking to you real soon, and I wish you all the best on your journey, and I'm so glad I was able to provide some useful information for you today. Bye for now, everybody.